Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk. You me funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore!
Hi.
There we go. Marilyn, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on this film, and I just really appreciate the conversation that we're about to have.
Thanks, Brad. Your hair is incredible.
Oh, look, I'm just trying to distract people from the fact I don't know what I'm doing, so I have to use any tool I can. But look, congratulations on a screenplay. As somebody who I've written some books and things like that, I know how arduous of a process writing can be. So to get it from script to screen is such a journey. I mean, when did you first start on the screenplay and this story and crafting it?
I came on to write the script in 2017. And it was actually, Brad, a pretty fast process. So this doesn't usually happen. But Andrew Corkin, Theo James, they had optioned the story already when I came on board. Minette Louie joined them as producers. And then when we decided we were going to work together, they really gave me a lot of free rein to find the story. There weren't any parameters. There weren't, we had talked about Of Mice and Men. It was a book that I'd read that I felt resonated with Rosemead, despite the characters being so different.
Sure.
Theo and Andrew had talked about Tree of Life. They had a couple references in their minds, but they just said, hey, go for it. And I wrote the first draft, wrote another draft. The following year, director Eric Lynn came on. We continued working on the script, but the same year, Lucy Liu came on.
I mean, it just is going fast. We're going fast here. But let's back up to you do the first draft. Now, when you sit and you're going to adapt this story and you have some references in your mind, what's step number one? Like, are you someone who follows the, what is it? The Sid, I can't think of his name. Sid Fields. Do you follow the Sid Fields school? Are you a Save the Cat person? Or do you just kind of figure out, you know how to do a 3-act structure and you kind of figure the beats out for yourself?
I have. I think Sid Field is like ingrained he's in my bones, so I got it. But I also there's another approach that's the 15-minute sequence approach, which I also like.
What is that?
You just think about story in 15-minute chunks. And so it really frees you up you are still thinking about act breaks, but you're thinking about sort of like beginning, middle, and end every 15 minutes.
Well, and I think what's probably great for you too, if you think about it in the 15-minute structure, is it doesn't seem as, I don't know, a gargantuan of task to crank out the 120 pages, right? It's like, I'm just going to focus on getting from A to B. I'll worry about Z later.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay. So how fast though does that first draft come together?
So in this first draft, definitely figuring out the structure was the first big piece. And so my first thought was, hey, this would be a great story to tell, let's say in 4 days leading up to the climax. And it'll be kind of a tight thriller. And we just focus on day one, day two, day three, day four. So we all like that idea. But ultimately, as started thinking more about what this film is really about, it was very important to be able to show how there's this undercurrent of shame in the Asian American community about mental illness. And it didn't seem like I'd be able to do that if it was in this just 4 days. And so from there, the timeline became longer. We take a little bit more time getting to see Irene's community, getting to see Joe's friends at school.
Understanding too, my wife and her family, they're Middle Eastern, and the shame is a part of the culture as well, in a way similarly, I think, to how you explore it in the film. And it's such a I think it's such an important aspect to explore, especially for somebody coming from a Western background who might not see it as intimately. I mean, bringing shame to the family or what have you is a really real concept.
I've been amazed being able to speak to you and speak to people after screenings at our festivals that this theme in the film really crosses over any boundaries that you would think. It's not just the AAPI community. It really
Right.
is universal, and it means a lot to me that it has resonated in that way.
Well, I think that too, the conversation around mental health has changed so vastly, even in my lifetime. So I can't imagine my father, was born in the 40s, right? Where it was like, imagine a guy born in the 40s in Texas, right? You're not really thinking about your your mental health as much. But for me, it's top of mind. This is a thing that, is discussed. And, I go to therapy. I think it's important that everybody does, whether you think that you're a healthy, adjusted individual or not, just kind of self-exploration. So when you kind of hit onto that theme, finding the way to weave that in, was that easy? Did you find that to be challenging to make sure that that was very present in the text?
So right away, I knew that the film was about a mother's love for her son
Sure.
and a son's love for for his mother. And so delving into Joe's schizophrenia and what he's going through, ultimately it all had to lead back to that core theme. So all the decisions became about, are we portraying his condition in a way that's going to add to this bond or take people out of it? Because there's so many ways to go. Uh, in an early draft, we were seeing what he was seeing. We were seeing where the voices were coming from. And not only was that going to be expensive because it was going to require an animatronic ant,
Sure.
I'll just leave it at that. But it also just didn't, it took you out and it didn't give the amazing actor, Lawrence, who plays Joe, the ability, I think, to really show that experience through his experience, his lived experience as an actor.
So one of my favorite my not one of my favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future, and one of the things I love about it is the writing, the script. Everything is sets up in the first act. It pays off by the third act. It's very by the book, very structured in that way. And I found it interesting to go back and read the original draft of the film written in the early 80s and how vastly different it was than the film that I ended up falling in love with, right? That came out in 85. So from 2017 to 2025, I can only imagine the script from its original version to what we see on screen evolved several times over. How different from draft one to the completed draft, the shooting draft, was it?
The main differences between the first draft and the shooting draft, I would say, are how Joe's schizophrenia is portrayed, for sure. And I really credit the director, Eric Lynn, and Lawrence, and the team that came on to help us find that. We really consulted with different experts. The other thing that is different is that at one point, we wanted to show again that Irene had tried every single avenue. Um, that she could. And so there was a water healing ritual. We knew that the real Irene had some Buddhist connections. And so there was a scene in the film where monks come to the house and perform a water ritual on Joe. And it really played into the differences between Eastern and Western approaches. And those themes are still there in the film, but that scene is not there.
Okay, so when you finish the draft, they shoot it, the edit's done, you get to see it in its final form for the first time. Was it as you almost, because it's hard to not imagine the film in your head as you're writing it. I feel like you almost have to see it as you are putting the words to paper. How satisfying was it to finally see the final product?
It was so beautiful. I mean, as a writer, I think I'm just, you don't know, you have all the power in the world, and then you hand it over, and then you are powerless.
Yes.
You're going to trust these people to do whatever happens with what you started. And so, of course, I've had other experiences on films. This film feels in a way like, when I watch it, the closest I've come so far to an expression of what I first wrote. The essence of it and the emotions and the characters all just feel like the essence of that first draft that I set out to write. And that's it's unique. It has never happened to me before. And so it's really special to me.
It's unusual to happen, but we're so glad that it went that way. I think there was an old producer on the Tonight Show said it's always nice when it happens good, right? And to me,
Well
for you to
said.
be able to achieve that, that's incredible. So congratulations again. I really enjoyed talking to you, learning a little bit more about your process. Congratulations on the film and all your success.
Thank you. And I'm going to go read the Back to the Future script now, because I just watched it with my sons, but I have not read the script, so I'm curious.
Yeah, go see the original draft. Very different, very different. Marilyn, I do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.